Okay, welcome to the Mass Movie Mavens. My name is Chris Palermo. Of course, we're here with the .com. I call him the mayor of background actors, Chuck Slavin. Chuck, special guest in the house, in the studio. Who do we have here today?
Adam Roffman.
Adam, welcome.
Thank you.
Adam is the program director, okay, of the IFFBoston, right?
That is correct.
And what does that stand for, guys?
Independent Film Festival of Boston.
Correct.
Now, I love film festivals, okay, and I want to ask you so many questions here. But why don't you lay before us, because time is money, and, well, wait a minute, people are getting this for free, so why don't you just go expand and take as much time as you need? Tell us all about the festival.
All right. Our dates this year are April 22nd through the 28th. This is the 7th year of the festival. We're considered the premier film festival in New England at this point. We are going to be at the Somerville Theater in Davis Square, the Brattle Theater in Harvard Square, the Coolidge Corner Theater in Brookline, and the ICA, the Institute of Contemporary Art in downtown Boston. We're showing close to 100 films. We're flying in filmmakers from all over the country and some other parts of the world, and are going to have Q&As after a good majority of the films with the filmmakers. We're going to have panel discussions, and we're going to have parties on most nights of the festival as well.
I love parties.
I was just going to say, Chuck and I love that portion of it. I want to ask you this question, and I'm intrigued. What is the criteria? How does a film get into your film festival? There must be so much criteria to judging films, and only the elite films make it in. Obviously, you probably get how many submissions?
We looked at around 1,500 films this year to choose the 5 or so films that we're actually showing. And, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of criteria that go into it. It's kind of like the total package of a lot of different elements, but one of the key things, or if not the key thing, is just the story, the script, or just the story within a documentary. If the content is not there, is not engaging and interesting, it doesn't really matter how well you shot it or edited it or how good the music is if the actual content of the story isn't there. So the story is first and foremost, and then we start to look at all of the technical aspects and the originality of the piece after that.
So on the IFFBoston.org website, Adam was telling me earlier that you can go in and you can see which countries a movie was submitted from. So, Adam, what are some of the countries that submitted films this year?
Well, what shows on the website is what country the films are from that we're actually showing, not that submitted. There was a number of other countries that submitted films that aren't in the festival, but we're showing films from Brazil, Iceland, France, Japan, all over the place. And you can also find out things on the website, like if you want to pick just films for a certain day, you can click by day and see what films are playing that day. If you want to see just documentaries or just short films, you can click that and it'll just show you that. So you can really just fine-tune it to whatever you're looking for. If you want to just look at the films that have trailers available on our website to look at that, you can click trailers only and it'll show you just those films. So the website really can help you out to find what you're looking for, as well as you can put in all of the films. You can type into the schedule all the films that you want to see, and the website will tell you if you have conflicting screenings, so that you know, I can't see both of those films because they're showing at the same time or they overlap. So it's a very
neurotic
kind of thing, yeah.
That's I mean, what would we do, first of all, without the internet nowadays to help your film festival? Now, tell me, when someone comes in, how do they make the decision on the website? Obviously, they can see trailers and all that. But what would you recommend to somebody to get the most out of your film festival? You can only see so many films, right?
Right.
As the program director, how can this person absorb as many films as possible without, being out there 24 hours a day,
Well, first of all, we expect people to be out there 24 hours a day. Secondly, the way to get the most out of the film festival is to buy a pass to the festival. We have several different passes available on the website now. There's a film pass, which will get you into all the films in the festival. There's a party pass that gets you into all of the parties at the festival. And then there's the Chrome pass, which gets you into all the films and all of the parties in the festival. And pass holders are seated first, ahead of ticket holders. And as long as you're at the screening 15 minutes or more ahead of time, you're essentially guaranteed to get in to that film if you have a pass. So you don't have to worry, oh, is this film going to sell out? Is that film going to sell out? If you have the pass, you have the freedom to go where you want and not have a schedule necessarily. You can just float and meet people at the festival and make up what you want to do as you're doing it.
And go to the parties?
Yes, and go to the parties, Chuck.
We'll be there. Now, why are you so passionate about this? Why do you love this so much?
I just love this because ever since I was 4 years old, all I've ever thought about doing is working in the film industry in one respect or another. As you both know, I work on film sets for a living doing set decoration, but the festival is something that I'm passionate about, and the other people on the festival are passionate about, just because we had all been going to the prominent festivals around the country, the Sundance Film Festivals, the South by Southwest, and it seemed like every city of the size of Boston or comparable had a premier film festival that everyone across the country was talking about, and filmmakers were coming from all over the country to go to, and it covered every genre of film, every ethnicity, every type of film that you can think of.
Pretty diverse.
Diverse, exactly. And we just felt like Boston did not have a festival that was at that same level as the festivals in Chicago, Seattle, San Francisco.
Sure.
And so we just decided, if nobody else is going to do it, we need to do it. And we've done it, and it's worked so far. We get over 20,000 people in attendance every year.
Wow.
And the press has really gotten behind us, and it just continues to grow each year.
This is the 7th year, and Adam's been with them all 7 years.
Wow.
So I think it's pretty good track record here.
Yeah, I haven't quit, and they haven't fired me yet. But we also don't get paid to do this. This is a volunteer passion project for all of us. So,
well, I hear that.
You're looking at a couple of guys who are in the same boat. Right now, at least.
Wait, you don't get paid to do this?
Well,
you are kidding me.
I know. Can you imagine that? Something of this quality. So I guess a film fest could maybe make or break a film, especially an indie film, huh?
It can definitely make a film. I mean, the films that come to our festival, they definitely get a lot of word of mouth out of it. They get a lot of press. They can get press from, larger institutions like the Boston Globe, Boston Phoenix, Boston Herald. And they also can just set the tone for the rest of their festival run. A lot of festivals around the country look to see what we're showing, and that gets them interested in some of these films that may not have caught their eye otherwise. So it helps them get a good run going around the country. It can break a film, I guess, if a film plays and is universally panned by the press and the audiences, but that's why we spend a full year looking at all of these films so that